Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what, pray tell, am I getting into this time? Yes, I know I promised the reunion of Love is Blind season 7, but you know what, I think I'm coming to the point where I really don't like doing reunions when they're shit. Like seriously, when they're shit. But there are a little bit of tidbits when I probably would want to talk about it, but I'll get to it when I get to it. That's all I'm gonna say for now. But anyway, what I'm getting into today is the Rap Game UK season 6. They are back for another brand new season with another 6 more contestants. Okay, so I'm going to be going through episodes 1 and 2 because that's all we've got available to us at the moment, and I'll be going probably in that vein once the others come on as well, doing it in two episode bouts in one video. Anyway, before I get into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm on do videos. Please comment, like, share and do the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1k. You got Leia, she's from South London. You got Subliminal, he's from Nottingham. You got Hey Dog, he's from the Wirral in Liverpool. That is where they're at. They're based in Liverpool in this season, so you know it's his hometown, so he has to make good if he can. You've got Only Zizu, he's from Essex. You got Morgan the Savage from Hertford, and Cam Keddy from Southampton. Now the twist of it was, because they all meet in, because they put them up in their little penthouse suites as they do, but the twist of it is that they didn't realise that somebody else would join them as well, because usually it's only about 6 people, that of 6 contestants. So they ended up bringing in Amani Steed. For those of you that don't know how it works, as I said, it's usually 6 unknown artists that could be up and coming and are perfecting their craft basically. The hosts of the show are DJ Target, and he's a DJ for Radio 1 Extra. He also wrote the book Grime Kids, which is a TV show as well. Then you have Krept and Conan, who are artists and have made bangers. To be fair, everybody knows who Krept and Conan is, because you would have heard their name bandied about with JME as well. Okay, so they provide the challenges to the contestants that they have to fulfill, right? So then each time they've done the challenges, the contestants have done the challenges, they will text rate them between the numbers of 1 to 6. So you know who's number 1, who's at number 6, and all those in between. Then they'll meet them face to face, tell them why they are rated and why they are there at that position. So each time though, a person does leave. So one leaves in these over these 2 episodes. One leaves straight away in the first episode. Like, put yourself out there. Once you put yourself out there, you need to make sure that you are fulfilling your best potential, and if you ain't, you're gone, you're done, that's it. So there is a £20,000 prize that they're looking to win, and it's basically to support them in regards to pushing their music out there in the way that they want it to be pushed out basically. So as I said, there's only 2 episodes currently available, so those are what I'm reviewing and reacting to thus far. I've also got my notebook, and the reason why I've got my notebook is because after I write my stuff down in my notes on my phone, and sent it to where I need to send it to, where I read them off to, because earlier I know I do read notes too. I went through and I was just wanting to go through each of the challenges that they did and like talk about their performances individually from my perspective. Now, I ain't saying I'm a full-on music head. I love music. I love all types of genre of music, and I do love this show. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert at this. This is just my view, okay? So Alio, if you've watched it, chime in. Please chime in and let me know what you think. I do think it's a really good show, because I think it helps us to see what type of UK talent there is out there, what's homegrown, and people that we can actually go and follow. And there could be people on there that you actually would buy their music, do you know what I mean? So all I'm going to say is, over the 2 episodes, I have my favourites thus far. Let me tell you, I do have my favourites thus far, and it's Leia, Subliminal, and Hey Dog. Those are my three favourites. But Leia, my gal, trust and believe she's a dark horse, yeah. When she performs, it's just something else just literally comes out of her. Her flows are fucking fire. Her canter, her banter, all of that is just, it's on point, like seriously on point. It's, her flow is sick, and she's also classically trained, so that helps her as well. She is trying to perfect her craft. She's classically trained in opera, and let me tell you, when she puts the opera in with the music that she does, my god, it goes up a notch. It elevates. That's how good she is, like seriously good. So when we're talking about the rest of the team, you have Subliminal, and as I said, he's a lad from Nottingham. So what I've seen of Subliminal so far, his performances are strong, don't get me wrong, but man, full on belly flopped in his battle against his battle partner Hey Dog, like full on flopped. I don't know what was wrong with some of them in there. Subliminal to me is more of what you would expect, like a rap artist from the UK to be, like especially on the UK scene in regards to our rap or grime or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there ain't that much difference about him. Don't get me wrong, he does have flow, he really does. He's entertaining and he has bars, and he has something to say, and I'm just like, but will it make him stand out fully? Because there's, even though I do like him, Leia's my top one because she full on stood out. Hey Dog stands out too, and I'd say when it came to Cam Keddy, he stands out too. So the first challenge was for them to basically write 16 bars, and then they'd have to perform it in front of DJ Target, Krept and Conan. So basically it was their first foray into the pressure of this competition. But the thing of it is, because there's 7 of them, one had to leave at that point. So each one of them had to make sure that they performed to the best of their ability, because the twist was, it would be them, the people around them, that will be basically voting who it is that they want to be pushed out, basically, that would have to leave at that stage. So basically you're going to be judged by your peers, by the people that you just met, which is tough in of itself at the end of the day. You end up seeing a girl called Morgan the Savage, and she's from her Hartford. Get it right, she's from Hartford. And all I can say is, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that girl can bar hard. Like, she's wavy, she has some dope lyrics and some dope lines, yeah. She's what she says she calls a drill rapper. She's a 5'2" white girl, basically. And she's very, I don't want to say ghetto, but culture-rific. I would say culture-rific. The day is what I'm going to say, yeah. She's very much into it. Let's just put it that way. When she first gets on that stage, yeah, I thought, okay, here we go. This girl's going to own it, because you see, when it comes to all of these people that walk in here and they say that they're confident to the point of arrogance, that they know what they're doing, they've practiced it. All I need to do is just put it out on the stage, because these people will get me, and then they get up there and fucking flub it. Yeah? That's what she did. Not once, but twice, but 3 times. This girl flubbed it, couldn't get through it, and it was the people that would be voting, like, you know, to see who's gonna go, spurring her on. But she knows she fucked up. But my problem with her is, yeah, I don't think if she'd have managed to stay, she wouldn't have lasted long in that house, because she has got the most stinkinest attitude out of everything, right? And the fact that, and I'll get to the voting bit, and what she says to Only Zizu was out of order, absolutely out of order. There was no need for her to carry on the way that she did. So basically we then meet a young lad named Hey Dog. and he's Liverpool grown, so you know he's on his own turf basically, and he's more of, what would you say, is like a life lyricist. So he likes to emote emotions when he's rapping. So he talks about his life in terms of certain scenarios that he's more than likely been in. Now, he is a lad, like, you know, as he talked about, from a broken home. His mum had schizophrenia, his grandmother's bringing him up. He's 20 now, and he was going down a path because he wasn't concentrating too much on his music. So he was going down a path which nearly got him killed because he ended up getting stabbed. And then he started to move away from that social setting and start to get more into his music. So he has got something to lose basically. So Hey Dog wants to make this work for him. And I ain't gonna lie, this young boy is good, you know. This young boy is very, very good. Like, I like the way he flows. I like the way he spits his bars. He even though he's in he's got that Liverpoolian accent, he has clarity in his voice. You can understand what it is that he's saying and the story that he's telling to you, and he can sell it at the end of the day. So we then move on and meet Only Zizou. All I'm gonna say about Only Zizou is music is okay. It is. I get his concepts. He doesn't want to be a run-of-the-mill rapper. He has more of a soft approach. But I think what he wants is to be more of a conscious rapper. That's what I'm getting from him. To be more of a lyricist. But when he performs, don't get me wrong, he can pen. But when he performs, it's just so boring. There's absolutely no pizzazz to it. And I'm like, okay, if you want to be this lyricist, then we need to feel the power behind your words as the consumer if we are going to buy your music. If we are not feeling that, then we are not going to buy your music. You are not going to be a success. Now, I'm not saying that he ain't going to be a success, but that's how I'm looking at it from my point of view. If I'm watching you on TV and I'm not feeling that energy that I'm getting from everybody else, from you, then I'm not going to look at you that tough, to be honest with you. That's how I'm seeing it. And then we meet Armani Steez. Now, he's the 7th one to come in, which is the twist. But when he comes in, everybody just goes hella quiet. Nobody really introduces themselves to him or nothing. It was kind of like, oh, now we know the competition has now begun. Everybody was set aback that the fact, you know what, we've got a 7th person in here. So they automatically knew that something was going to be coming afoot that night, and it did. As it is, the text comes in, they now know they have to write 16 bars in order to perform that evening, and one of them is going to quite quickly disappear. So when I think about Armani Steez's music, basically he's good. He does have bars. He's able to rap, but he raps in a higher pitched voice than the rest of them, which is a little different. It is a little different, and he does handle himself well when it comes to challenges. But I will say that when it comes to this 16-bar challenge where they're put under pressure to perform straight away, Morgan the Savage and Subliminal and Armani Steez do fumble, but Morgan the Savage fumbles epically, and we will get onto that now, because when it comes to the first challenge, they're in day 2 of them all living, breathing, eating and everything together, yeah. So then I'll go to my trusty book. That's where I've got my notes to talk about each one. It was Subliminal, and as I said, he did fumble at the first beat, but picked it up, back up straight away, was on it, didn't miss a beat after that.
I'm that breath of fresh air, coming out the gate cold, starting 6 on the show at 24, I'm feeling old. I don't check rap guns, put an 8 ball in assault the boys if you can stonemason. Better yet, it's race day, place your bets, now I'm slapping every round. These the raps to have your lady throw it back and leave me to come and see me. Whoa. My whole city know I'm slick with it. The name's...
His flow is tight, that's all I'm gonna say. His flow is tight. It's smooth. He's very smooth. He knows what he wants to do with his music. He knows where he's going when he speaks. He knows how to tell a story when he speaks as well. Morgan the Savage, She did start hard. I'm going to give her props on that one. Her issue, as I've already said, is her attitude stinks. Let's just put it this way. Because when it came to the choosing and stuff like this, she actually threatened bodily harm against Oli Zizou. And I thought, no, my love, that's not the way it goes at the end of the day. Because when it came to the rating, she picked Oli Zizou. And the reason why she picked him, basically, wasn't to do with his performance. It was because she just didn't like his type of rap, which is not fair at the end of the day, because that's, you're there about the performances, you're there about the songs that they're singing, you're there about the stage presence, the clarity, the rap, this, that and the other, not because you just don't prefer what it is that they sing about or how they put it across, because she's more into, like, you know, her hard upbeat tempo type of rap, especially if she's a drill rapper herself. So I thought that was stupid. But the way in which she was coming back when, you know, someone had to be picked, that she turned around and copped an attitude with Oli Zizou by literally threatening to fuck him up, basically. That's what she was doing. And I thought, yeah, you wouldn't have lasted more than a day in that place if you'd have stayed there, because people would have been right on your back at the end of the day. So do I think the pressure got to her? Yes, I do think the pressure got to her. But my thing is, if you are coming on a show like this, then you have to make sure that if you flop the first time, you know how to bring that shit back. Because at the end of the day, this is make or break. This ain't no pussyfooting around situation, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, she picked it up, but she flopped like three times.
The savage like your mad boss good. Came in the country long way from the hood. The savage like your mad boss good. Like, long way from the hood. With the sound no cap, I'm a bad girl. Sorry to my mom and dad. I'm a star in their making. Oh well, don't care for them. It's got big dreams, they ain't on my wavelength. If you ain't getting Lizzie, you're a nitty. Don't pay big pics for prettiest.
So then we get to Armani Steez. Like, his bars went hard. Like, his flow was unreal at first. He fumbled initially, but my man brought it back. And surprisingly, I would have to say, he didn't get chosen by any of the others at all. Even though he fumbled, that man brought it back, and I think that was the stickiness staying point for him. But again, with him, he had clarity in terms of what he was saying. But again, some of the words that he says, you don't rightfully understand how does that fit into a sentence, but he just does it anyway. I don't know if it's because he just likes to throw words together, but that's what he does. And he didn't do it just on this one, he did it on the second challenge too.
No. God's loading con when he's stepping stone. This might be a stepping stone to these man to rap like Crepnicone. So silence, get the DJ wheeling up Miley as the in the beer. Can't slap any man if they like that. Get my punchlines, well you ain't saying wait.
We have Hey Dog, one of my other favourites. I'm calling my favourites already, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm going to have to call my favourites already and hope that they continue to do well through this process, because I'm just hoping that the pressure don't get to them too much, that they keep flubbing. Everybody makes mistakes up in this show, but you don't want to keep making mistakes, basically. So Hey Dog is definitely a reality rapper. Basically, he speaks of his experiences. He knows how to emote emotions, certain types of emotions with his words. His flow was cold and he didn't fumble at all. He was just on point with every little thing that he was saying, and it was so good. For being only 20, he had so much control, let's just put it that way.
I stay solid through the rain, can't let my pain wreck me. I prayed for this, I know God came and blessed me. When they put me to the challenges and they test me, just know I stay on ice like I'm Wayne Gretzky. I got pain bars cause life been pain, you get me. My boy got double figures, chasing dreams, I can't let no one affect me. I got big dreams, I can't let no one affect me. You relate to my bars once you start to list. Sometimes we gotta burn bridges, I make hard decisions. I hope we beat the odds and these harsh conditions. Look, it's fuck the road, it's got my dogs in prisons. We got PTSD from them dark positions, but still, I got superstar ambition.
So then we get to Oli Zizou. As I said, he sees himself as a wordsmith or a conscious rapper. those types of rappers is what he sees himself as. I myself, when I was watching it, was not getting that feeling from him in the slightest. He can deliver his bars, don't get me wrong, he can deliver his bars, but for me, he has no stage presence. It's like he's just standing there, like just speaking to whoever. As again, like I said already, if you're not making people believe in what you are saying, then how are you expected to hold an audience in that sense? How are you expected for people to take you seriously enough to buy your music, to stream your music, all of that? That's not what I'm getting from him. I don't know if that's him, how he is, or if he's nervous, or if it's the pressure, or if after he starts relaxing into it a little bit, he will start to come back, basically, and start to pick it up and change what he's doing, because it ain't working for him right now.
It seems as though they got the real McCoy, the one they all enjoys. The scene need a new voice, I came to fill a void. Fake shit, that's how you feel, avoid. I'm saucy, you can smell the sun till I'm headlining in Glaston. Bury me inside a mansion, I'm way too competitive like Killian. This was just the start, yeah, from me to you, only Zizou.
So then we get to see Cam Keddy, CK as he likes to tell himself. I'm going to say I do like his flow, and he was understandable. He had clarity in his vocals, which is what I liked. He has a lot of stage presence, and you could see that, like, the people he was singing to, which is DJ Target, Krypton Conan, were actually liking his flow. Like, when they start bopping, and you can tell when they're getting into stuff, and with majority of them, they were getting into what it was that they were saying, because they could understand what it was that they were saying and the story that they were telling. And that's the same with Cam Keddy. He's kind of for the ladies, even though he says he makes music for the ladies, but he also makes music for the man dem. I don't see that appeal in terms of him making music for the man dem. I think he's so used to being in a certain niche that I don't know if he's able to come out of that niche, because we haven't seen anything else from him besides this at that moment in time. But yeah, he went hard. He went hard.
Cam Keddy, but your gal call me CK. It's Cam Keddy, but gal call me CK. I'm that one with bars and melodies, not like licks. I can actually sing. Man City, I'm winning the season. Actually so cold. Bobo said hit the stew and make magic.
But then they saved the best to the last. Laya. You can tell she's my favourite. She is my number one. And all I'm going to say is that out of all these seasons of Rap Game, a girl has not won it once. I'm just hoping that this one will be different, because what I've seen so far of this girl, I just hope she doesn't put herself too far on a pedestal, that she lets the pressure get on to her and drops. Do you know what I mean? Because she's got too much talent to literally fuck that up in any way, shape or form at the end of the day.
It's Leo. You can't do it like I do it.
Hardest, that's on period. Them other gal ain't serious. Let me talk my shit when they hear me spit. Gonna put some fear in them. What you see is what you get. I can never be a catfish, sweat. Blood tears, what I put in my craft. You having a laugh, I'm full as possible with God. I'm gonna blow that as word to my mother. What pair of home, what the fuck is a father? I'm using my passion since I was a toddler. Grind non stop for my sister, my brother.
So this girl turns into someone else, as I've already said. You can tell that she knows how to lyrically tell a story. Her clarity is top notch. Her delivery is second to freaking none. Her flow out of this motherfucking world. This girl added opera. This girl sang opera in her 16 bar. My gal put opera in there. She can sing, you know. She can sing, like, she can rap and she can sing. She literally turns into somebody else when she starts. As soon as she got on that stage, she motherfucking commanded it. And let's just put it this way, each and every one of those lads realised what they were dealing with when Laya opened her mouth. Like, seriously, I think they fell in a little bit in love with her. Even the hosts, Krypton Conan and DJ Target, were like, the fuck, where did that come from? Like, she when I say she was a dark horse, she's a dark horse, let me put it that way. So then we get to day 4, which is the next challenge for them. So the next challenge is they were given studio time and they had to write 24 bars on a topic about power and respect, basically. So this challenge will be hard for some because not all of them within that house have had studio time before, but some of them have. And you know, the one who has had studio time is only Zizou. But I think Leia has had studio time as well in regards to perfecting her craft, so she knows what goes on in the studio and how to get the best out of it that she needs to. So the guest that they bring in is an engineer in his own right anyway. He's not doing the engineering for this episode at all, that's somebody else. And his name is Fumes, the engineer, and let's say he is the big shit in the music industry when it comes to engineering and making collabs and doing the music and putting what he needs to put out there, because he's worked with a plethora of stars, let's just put it that way. So Leia is basically wanting to go down the female empowerment route. So basically she fell out with her dad and left her dad. Didn't want any, I don't think she's having anything to do with the dad, but was basically brought up by her mum and her grandmother. And just before she came into this show, she said her grandmother had passed 2 weeks before she came in. So I'm like, okay, so that must be really hard on her, and that must, like, you know, be able for her to be able to draw on her experiences and her emotions in that way. So basically she's talking about the two people that she's had behind her, because her mum, basically she said, is her momager. So her mum is her backbone, her grandmother was her backbone, so she will be rapping about female empowerment. And I was like, okay, this is different. I wonder what she's going to say. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm telling you, the talent that Leia has cannot be taught, man. It's a God-given gift, like seriously God-given gift. So before we do a deep dive into the recordings that each and every one of them did, I'd actually forgot to tell you that the first person that was kicked off the show was Morgan the Savage, which I felt was par for the course, to be honest with you, because as I said, that girl's attitude was not the right one to be on somewhere like that, man, because the way in which she threatened that boy was not even funny. Even Cam had to turn around and tell her that she was going a bit too far still at the end of the day. Do you think that hushed that girl's mouth? Nah. My gal thought she owned the fucking place up in there. And I kind of was glad to see the bloody back of her, to be honest with you, because I thought she's going to be trouble. She ain't going to be able to cope in that in that environment if that's how she's going to be with people at the end of the day. So when we get to the studio, you have Cam Kiddy up first. He had a story to tell, and he told his story. He was making steady progress through this show, is what I'm going to say, until, as I said, he got to the battle. And we'll get to that very, very, very soon. His demo, because that's exactly what they're doing in regards to this. It's a demo. So basically his demo was really quite good. You could hear what he was saying, you could listen to what direction he was taking his story in. At the end of his song, Cam Kiddy did a double over, so he had his own voice singing, and then he had his own voice coming in but an octave deeper in terms of the overlap itself, which really elevated the song for me, is what I would like to say. I thought it sounded hella good when he did that, but it took it from one place to another place.
From your girl in the social. In the real life, she bada. Beat get rap like grabber. Make the man shatter, get turned to a ghost like power.
Play the rap one with the melody one.
Choose in the real life, she bada. Beats get rap like grabber. Make the man shatter, get turned to a ghost like power.
What are you thinking?
Nah.
Yeah. Do you think that boy kept it in when they played it back to him? No, he did not. And he missed the trick with that, because it literally added depth to what it was that he was doing. But overall, it was a good song. Then we had Oli Zizou come in. Now, he has bags of confidence, but with only Zizou, some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is petering on the Thames of freaking arrogance to me. And, like, you know, it's starting to grate on me a little bit. Yeah. So he, as I said, he thinks he is too good, to be honest with you. But the problem is there's no problem having that much confidence in yourself, but also have a bit of humility, be a bit humble too. This man ain't got that in the slightest. As I said, he believes himself to be a wordsmith. The song wasn't bad. I ain't gonna lie, he wasn't bad. He knows what he's doing within the realms of using studio time and what he needs to do in order to perfect his music, perfect his song or whatever it is that he's putting out. But his presence is dull. Like, absolutely dull. Like, really dull. The song was good, don't get me wrong, but the presence and sometimes the way that he comes across just doesn't hit the mark. It really doesn't hit the mark, and I don't know what it is. But as I said, if I manage to put clips in, then hopefully yous will see what it is that I'm talking about. But as again, if you are watching it, then yous can let me know what you think. So then it comes to Hey Dog, and now you know that we could see that he did not know what to do in the studio or how to, like, you know, tell the engineer, no, this is how I want it, can you do this? He wasn't confident in that because he's never done that before at the end of the day. But you could tell when it comes to his bars, Hey Dog is cold. He knows exactly where he stands when it comes to his music and what it is that he wants to say.
Bros fighting and I'm writing hooks. The rude ones always got the nicest look.
And get out there and push out there. He was off the chain. Let's just put it that way. His flow was wavy, and when he was in that booth, he was so comfortable in who he is and what he's about. So he was happy, just like, you know, getting his words out, bopping along. But when it comes to Liverpoolian accent, they can tend to go a little bit faster, and that's what the engineer came back and told him, that, you know what, there's parts where you're kind of rapping over the beat and you need to kind of pull it in, slow it down. So that's what he did, so he can take instruction as well. So then we come to Armani Steez. He says that he is a melody man, and that's what he wanted to show to the others in regards to melodies, and hope that they appreciate what it is that he did. His clarity is an issue, because he writes his words because it makes sense to him. But what he writes doesn't necessarily make sense to everybody else that's listening to it, because as he's singing, we're questioning what the fuck does that mean. Like Crep did. Was it Crep or was it Conan? You know, I can never remember which one is which out of them two. But one of them two sat there and says, well, what does he mean by leaves and this, that and the other? And everybody else was asking the same questions. Everybody had questions as to what it is that he was saying. And that's the difficulty in the words. If you want to catch people, we need to know what the fuck he's saying, because we need to resonate with your music on some kind of standing. But you couldn't do that with Armani Steez. Don't get me wrong, it was good. His flow was good. He was on point. He didn't fumble. He didn't do any of that. But the problem with his storytelling, it becomes a jumble, because he understands what story he's telling, but nobody fucking else understands what the hell he's saying. Do you know what I mean? So when they got him out of the booth and they asked him the questions, he was to explain to them about the leaves comment. It's in regards to the family tree and how that built into his family. And they were like, oh, now you've explained it to us, we get it. But when you were in there, we had more questions than anything else when you were saying what you were saying. And that's what I mean. It's about the clarity of your vocalism. If you don't have that, and people are not understanding what it is that you are trying to say, or to sell a story to us, then again, it's the same with Only Zizu. We ain't gonna get you. We're not going to get you. So then we move to Laya. Now, when I said her song banged, man. Like, I would have bought that. Like, seriously, I would have bought that. With her opening bars, you know how good you have to be? That with your opening bars, you catch everybody's attention in that room. Like, as if to say, what's happening here? She had them shook and shocked all the way through her set.
Once upon a time you were subservient to men, and it's evident us women are relevant, and without us you men are irrelevant, and respect and power, that's the name of the game. Power.
She's doing the adlibs, look, listen.
This girl knew exactly what she wanted to do and how she wanted to do it. She added her own backing vocals onto it. She then layered it up and then sang over it, and the end result was bloody beautiful. No, seriously, I ain't even lying. This girl has raw talent fully, but all I'm hoping is that, because with everything that she's done so far, like, she's literally tipped the bar, because there hasn't been anyone in the rap game like her. Let's just put it that way. There hasn't been anybody in the rap game like Leia before. So all I'm hoping is that she doesn't put herself under so much pressure that she starts to fuck it up, or she starts to get into her own head, because then that's when, you know, the self-doubt and all the self-conscious thoughts start creeping in. I'm telling you, I would love for this girl to just keep going, and she's going to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up, showing the world exactly what she can do. And I hope that she will be able to win the whole thing, but I don't know. I really don't know, because I think when it comes to, when it gives an overview of the next episode, you can see that there's a situation where it looks like she kind of struggles, and she's asking them with the edits, can I start again? So I'm like, oh shit. But I don't want to always trust the edits, because I know the edits always do me greasy, but we'll see what happens once the next episodes are up. So then as we move on, you see Subliminal coming in. He speeds up his BPMs from 1 to 200, so he sped it up a lot more faster. And this is why I'm saying this boy can chat. Yeah, he can chat, and he goes really fast. So, but he was good. He was good, and he had clarity in his words. You could understand every single thing this boy was saying. At the end of the day, he linked each word into what it was that he wanted to say, and he did it all in one take. But the one thing that he decided to go back and do was, like, they called it stabbing. So what it is when they play the song back, he will then sing like one word, and that's something that Fumes, the engineer, does not like, because as he was saying, it's very 90s. Not many people use that concept too many times at the end of the day. So that's what he told Subliminal as well. Like, if it's something in terms of stabbing that you write into your music, then use it. But if it's not written into your music, he said to him, stay away from it, basically, because it's not a nice technique to use at the end of the day. Because to be fair, his song didn't need that. He did his song all in one take, and it was hard as it was. It didn't need the extra bit that he put into it at the end of the day. So it's now 1 week done for them, and basically the ratings are about to come in, and only Zizou is saying all the things to Leia about having the bass in his voice, about if he ever comes 6, he would need to understand why, because X, Y, and Z. This man had a mouth for days. Then the freaking results came in. Only Zizou came 6. He was not happy with that in the slightest. Armani Steez was 5th. Subliminal was 4th. Oh, can't get my words at 4th. And Hey Dog was 3rd. Cam was 2nd. And Leia, of course, you would expect, was 1st. My man, Oli Zizou, once I got back to the flat, was still clapping his gums like he had no respect for nobody. Man had all this mouth, but didn't really challenge the 3 of them when they came in at the end of the day. Even Subliminal, when he turned around and looked back at Subliminal was like, well, what are you looking at me for? Because I don't know what he expects his Subliminal to say at the end of the day. I was not going to fight your battle for you. You had all this bass in your voice on this issue, and he didn't really put across what it was that he was unhappy about. So obviously he must have felt that the explanation that was given to him was okay, because they didn't treat him like a boy. At the end of the day, they said to him that people came harder, than he did. They hit parts better than he did, and that's the reason why he's in 6th at the end of the day. And he sat there saying to them, well, did you even take into account like my first performance? They always do. If you've watched this show, you know they always do. They go by your first and your second challenge at the end of the day, in regards to how you've portrayed yourself and how you've been when they do their ratings. And at the end of the day, people within that house come up trumps more so than what Oli Zizou did, so that's why he was in 6th. I understood it, to be fair, because from what I was watching, I would have put him 6th too at the end of the day, because there were much better people that could have been placed in the other spots, which is what they did as well. And then you got Amani Steez, who then spoke up saying, okay, seeing as you said that to Oli Zizu, then why am I in 5th? And I'm like, it's the same freaking reason at the end of the day. Subliminal, High Dog, Cam and Leia over those 2 particular days were better. Their standard was a lot higher than them 2, and they're the only ones. Even Subliminal got why he was in 4th at the end of the day. High Dog got why he was in 3rd. Cam got why he was in 2nd. Of course Leia got why she was in 1st, and of course she'd be happy with it. So then it rolls on to the following week. So everybody's doing their thing. So the second challenge was basically a heartbreak challenge. So they had to go in pairs. They had to pair off with each other and write a song about heartbreak. So you had I keep calling her Layla, and it's not. It's Leia. Had Leia with Oli Zizu. You had Cam and Amani, and you had High Dog and Subliminal together, basically. So each of them all did their own versions in regards to what heartbreak meant to them. Leia and Oli Zizu actually made it fun in terms of a boyfriend-girlfriend type scenario. Now, this is what I mean about giving it a little bit of pizzazz, yeah? So you would have thought that having the advantage of having Leia with you, as she was number 1 and she's done so well so far, yeah, that you would put your all into this and give yourself a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a oomph, change what it is that you do when you perform. Do you think Oli Zizu did that? No. Because when they got together, don't get me wrong, the song was good. But the only person with the presence and the facial expressions and the hand gestures and and getting into it was Leia. And the only thing that Oli Zizu was really doing was when they were singing one of the hooks and his hands were just going like this and then like that. And I'm just like, that's what I mean about his presence. He doesn't make you believe stuff. So they had the 2 judges, which was JME and Mira May coming, yeah, to judge. And even she said, like, you know, Leia was the one that sold it more for her. She looked more at Leia than she did at Oli Zizu at the end of the day. So they did like that. So then you had Subliminal and High Dog to do their song, and their song was literally like reality. They talked about reality in regards to each of their lives, because they're both people who have been through the foster care system. Basically, they were both people who it was their mothers that literally did not so nice shit to them in certain ways, because they were not so they weren't well. And I think it's both them as well, or I think more so High Dog that got brought up by his grandmother, and then you've got Subliminal that got brought up. I think he said, I think he was talking about it must have been a black foster carer who he calls his grandmother basically, and got brought up by her, and he's still in contact with her and he loves her to bits basically. So they went down that route in regards to heartbreak and their life, and it was really emotive. It really was, and they drew you into their story in regards to you wanted to sit there and listen to that, and you could see the raw emotion on their faces when they sung about it too. And that's what I mean about presence. Do you know what I mean? So then you had Cam Keddy and Amani Steez come in and do their song, and they made it a little bit fun, and it was actually quite good, because they were kind of, Amani Steez was taking on Cam Keddy's tagline that he normally says in regards to himself, like, you know, he calls himself Cam Keddy, but your girl calls me and that it is quite funny, and that's what Amani Steez was taking on. But it was good, it was banterful, and you know, they were having fun with each other. But then came the fucked up bit after that, because the people that they coupled off with, they then had to battle. So they did do it in conjunction with another show, but I cannot for the life of me, even though I did note it down, can't remember what the show is in terms of who does the battle rap. So let's just put it this way: the three that was so confident that they were gonna get one up over on the people that they were battling was Subliminal, Cam Keddy, and Only Zizu. They literally thought that they would get one over upon the people that they've just worked with all that day and who they were gonna battle. The proof was in the pudding, because when it got to the show, Cam Keddy, Only Zizu, and Subliminal flopped from the greatest heights. Like literally, the worst one was Cam Keddy, because my man got one bar out, and then it was like he couldn't do no more. Armani Steez bodied that man to the point where she took his soul, and literally all that was left was the carcass standing on the stage, because Cam Keddy couldn't do no more. Cam Keddy even gave up his mic. He was like, yeah, I'm done. I can't. I'm sorry. So Armani Steez had it easy, because he literally was playing to an empty person. He literally was just like, you know, he had free reign. He had absolutely free reign, and he killed it. Let's just put it this way. Hey Dog killed it with Subliminal. Like literally had the whole persona of what it is you needed to have a battle with someone. Like he brought it, bearing in mind that these people hadn't done this before. And the ones with the most confidence literally flubbed like a motherfucker. Let's just put it that way. So then the next one up was Laya and Only Zizu. Laya bodied that boy. Bodied him all over the place. He was thinking, I don't really want to go too hard because of my fan base and this, that and the other, because she's a girl. Give Laya the respect she deserves at the end of the day. You know what I mean? She knows what she's in for. If you're going into a battle, it's no holds barred. She knows what she's in for. She's expecting you to go hard like you would do if she was a dude. At the end of the day, this man flubbed his lines up royally. Although I don't think he could have, even if he didn't flub his lines up so royally as well. I really don't think he could have outbarred Laya, to be honest with you. And that's not just favouritism. That's how I saw it. Because she was that good, to be honest with you. And she did make me laugh in some of it. Then after all of that, it comes back and people come back with the votes again. Laya's in top spot again. She's at number 1. I think number 2 was Hey Dog this time around. Number 3, I believe, was Armani Steez. Number 4, I believe, was again Subliminal. And number 5 was Only Zizu. And number 6 was Cam Keddy. But each of them all understood why they're at. But now, you know that Laya has a total target on her back, because she's number 1 all over again. But they're coming for her, and that's why I'm saying she needs to not let these 2 wins get to her head, because when you get overconfident in this bloody show that I've seen, that's when you make the most mistakes at the end of the day. That's where you don't put in as much work as you should do into your craft, because you think you've already got it by the bag, when in actuality you have not. But that is where I am leaving it for now, because the next episodes are not up just yet, but when they are, I'll be back on your screens very, very soon. As I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1K. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.